Waalaikumsalam.
Intangible cultural heritage is how we express ourselves as a multicultural community. It's living culture.
Vindaloo, rendang, soba from Japan, Singapore stories sautéed in a pan. Round the dining table, friends from every land, sharing life's recipes, living on this island. Tell a makan story, make another friend. Travel around the world and bring these flavors back again. We are different but the same. Makan and stories.
Makan time.
Just minutes from our city is a step back in time, where life is as it was 50 years ago. For one, it's his heritage as an Orang Pulau, or islander.
I remember specifically this moment where my mom introduced me to the kampung people.
He was 7 when he revisited this living culture.
And that was my mom's way of showing me my roots, that my family came from Pulau Ubin.
He was inspired to share this living culture and began a blog about this once vibrant kampong life. Some residents still live that way.
So Abe, which one is your house?
Yeah, this one.
Abe's invited us to peek into his home.
You got your personal beachfront here.
Yeah.
Amazing. Wow.
Swimming pool, my swimming pool.
He's lived in Ubin 30 years.
Gotong royong,
Gotong royong.
the kampung spirit.
Everybody gets together. Doesn't matter what race, religion you are. Everybody helps because you're part of the community. Abe, how old is this house?
70 years.
Oh, 70 years. Amazing. This really feels like a kampong house, you know.
Night time, 7 something, 8 o'clock, I sleep.
Some of the other homes follow a unique architecture inspired by cultural elements.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
The Malay-style house is split into sections, with the center as a tribute to mother.
The purpose of the Ibu Rumah is to just rest and have all your leisure, and that's why you could find your bedrooms in here as well. This is known as our veranda, just an extension from the house. This is where you normally receive guests, so this is where we show our hospitality.
Here is where you lepak lah.
This is where we lepak lah.
Air kelapa. Coconut.
Kelapa,
Kelapa.
not kepala.
No, that's the head.
Terima kasih ya.
Wow. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Rock.
This feels like a movie. Wow.
Now we are in Kampung Surau, which is also where my grandparents grew up in. This particular spot that we're in is where the mosque used to stand.
Standing on this heritage site, it was natural to invite one to perform the call to prayer.
Allahu Akbar, Allah. You could just imagine that you could hear the waves crashing, you could hear the birds chirping. Ashhadu an la. And this sound that we hear is a sign for the kampung people to come together as well, for us to come together and pray. That is what makes up the kampung life.
Typically, the cemetery would be built near the mosque. Juan is in search of his uncle's grave, and I'm privileged to accompany him.
Back in the days when someone just passed away, this is the same path that the residents have to go through. So they had to carry a casket on their shoulders, and then they had to climb all the way uphill.
So we are nearly there, are we?
Yes.
I hope so.
Yes.
A 30-minute hike to behold the serenity of a sacred space.
To honor the dead in such a beautiful vantage point, I mean, just amazing. Juan, this is the best experience you've brought me to on Ubin.
More than anything, I'm just very happy that You just want to come down and really see the life that my mom and my grandparents used to live on this island.
Definitely. The kampong life is just truly something we should still try and incorporate in our modern lives.
The icing, or rather the spike of our journey, was to find the fruit of all fruits.
So one, how do we recognize a durian tree unless one falls on my head?
And beside the smell.
Yes.
What clues to look for to know we are close to gold?
The color is a little bit different.
Yeah, man.
It's a little bit more copperish. This is how you're able to tell that this is a durian tree.
It's a beautiful leaf.
Ubin has inspired us to cook up a durian dessert and seafood special, a chili lobster. Bruno's dessert is a local twist on the French crepe.
This is how I started in Singapore when I did not speak English. They teach me how to speak, my people, my staff. And after 1 year, I was able to speak.
The lobster fans are at it. This fella is way too good looking.
There you go. Whoa, look at that.
I'm going to finish off the sauce with some additional ingredients that make it Singapore chili crab. Tau jiao, hair ko. This is from prawns.
Oh, it smells great already.
Classic chili sauce must have fermented soybean and prawn paste, a blend of sweet, sour, and tangy ingredients, tomato paste, and chili, of course.
Chili sauce from the bottle.
Ooh, here we go.
Voila! Okay.
Wow, smells so good.
We've never had lobster this way. This intense sauce takes it to another level and pays tribute to a kampong recipe that combines ingredients from our local cultures.
Look at that.
So good to look at. How best to enjoy this?
Take what you can first. So French baguette with lobster.
Voilà, merci.
I love the texture of lobster.
Sedap.
I don't usually eat seafood, but after today, I should cherish all the seafood that my mom has been cooking.
The Orang Pulau foraged for their food. Lobster was sometimes on the menu. Even anemone was popular.
The boran rendang, she'll just grab a little bit of sand and then she'll just pour it all over, right on top of the mouth. And so what the anemone will do is that it will try to cover up. So when it covers up, you finally can put your head right in, right through the mud, right through the sand, and you find the root. And then you'll grab it from underneath, you yank it up. It may look exotic to people who never heard of it, but for us over in Orang Pulau, we always see it as a normal thing for us to eat.
And now for Bruno's French Ubin delight, a local inspiration of crêpe Suzette.
Here, we are going for the dessert, like crêpe Suzette. And I replace the sugar sauce with the orange by a gula melaka, coconut, and inside there is the durian. Maintenant, you will tell me.
Thank you. It feels as though I'm eating the whole Kampung Sungai durian. Because I have the durian and I also have the gula melaka for the nipa palms in the kampung. I was like, whoa! It's like a kampung overload in my mouth. And the coconut milk, oh my goodness, I feel like I'm in the beach.
A taste of the kampung spirit and flavors on a plate. That's living culture.
Akatan stories.
Makan time.
Hey Rafe, you took us on the wrong turn again. Where are we?
This is an interesting place.
It's called the Hounds Social Club.
Also looks like a barber shop over there.
It's a social club with hounds.
I'm a little thirsty.
Can we have 2 whiskeys, please?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, there's music.
The wild worlds of Lindy Hop began in 1920s America. Singh brought it to Singapore in the 80s. She was working overseas when she saw it for the first time. She went all out and learned from the greats like Frankie Manning. And she won competitions like the American Lindy Hop Championships.
I was, of course, very honored to be standing there, and it was kind of like, oh, Singaporean doing this.
A good dancer has something beyond the technical. It's a charisma, and you have that. What were you feeling when you were on that amazing dance floor?
The feeling is like, yeah, let's do it, I was very lucky to be in good company. That made it fun and happy and easy.
She took on the mission to share her passion and bring it back to Singapore.
And everyone was like, no one's interested in this, it's old. But there were some people that say, no, teach us, we want to learn.
Singh brought in the masters to teach and dance with Singaporeans. 30 years on, she is making huge waves overseas.
In Singapore, is dance important?
Lindy Hop is something that we can take into our older age. Though there's the fast, crazy part, there's also the just chit-chat social part of the dance. It's my mission that I want to teach people who never thought they could dance to dance.
Being able to reflect truth, acting, it's Rave's and Leo's passion.
The thing?
The thing, really?
Really? Yeah.
Yo, when?
When? Just now.
Just now. Finally.
Finally.
The Spanish-Romanian speaks 3 languages.
You don't understand.
And now a bit of Malay because of a role in a local production.
Teknologi baru, dia kata buat teknologi baru.
Boleh cakap sikit-sikit. But I definitely take the challenge to deliver lines in Malay.
Acting is such a mysterious craft. That's why people watch movies all the time. You really have to go into the character and think like the character. So tell me, how did you hone your craft of acting?
Film yourself with every take so you can see what works or what doesn't. And write my own short films, all right? So I write my weird stories. I painted my room in my HDB flat in green, even the ceiling. I use it as a green screen. I imagine worlds. You will never find the filming locations for that. If you have a passion, follow it, no matter what. Then I want him crushed.
It's hours of commitment.
Then I want him crushed. Crush him under your foot like you would a cockroach.
He can follow his dream because of a supportive boss. Leo is a dental technician by day.
Leo.
Hey, mate, what's up?
Hey,
My boss, Mrs. Tan.
Hi. Something bad happened in the boxing ring just now, and I just want to make sure that you're working on my tooth.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we are
It's
right
going to be
away.
exactly like this, okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'm going back to the dentist now.
Okay, sure. Bye.
Make it good, okay?
Yeah, man.
Exactly the same.
Of course.
Will it be the same?
Of course,
Okay,
man.
okay,
Come,
okay, I'm checking.
get out of here.
Mrs. Tan gives him time off for acting gigs.
I mean, everybody has a dream. He may one day become very famous. He is a very nice guy, can get along with all my colleagues.
Like artists, together they rebuild, match, shape, and color to give that perfect smile.
Curry chicken.
Cooking for a staff is what brings them closer too. Food speaks all languages. That's living culture. In the ACM, where relics come alive, a pirate from the past is looking for the mistress of Mexican culture.
Senorita Lydia.
Yes?
My name is El Travieso, the naughty one. I was one of the pirates responsible for the robbing of the galleon ships.
No.
And I gambled it all away. I currently find myself unemployed and in need of a job. I am deeply remorseful. Can you give me a job?
I have many things for you. Come and help me to calm down. Just take the ladder, please. Excellent, gracias.
He can't return what he stole, but he can celebrate the cultural exchange.
Let's start to put and mix the colors.
The Manila Galleon story is similar to Singapore's story of trade and multiculturalism.
We are so similar. I mean, you will see Mexican that looks like Asian and everything because of this galleon. Can you imagine your life without chilies? Even we Mexicans cannot imagine our life without lemons. And lemons come from Asia.
In another life, Rafe chances upon more food and an altar. But wait, is this like our Hungry Ghost Festival?
It's dark and it's bright and colorful at the same time, and I've seen it during
It's
Halloween.
Dia de los Muertos.
Yeah, Dia de los Muertos. Okay.
It's Mexican Day of the Dead. It started with the Aztecs. The Aztecs came and they had their death deities. When Christianity came, they had to disguise their pagan ways. So what they did was they syncretized Christianity with their own beliefs. And that's why you've got these glorious skulls.
You seem to know a lot about this.
Because I am Santa Muerte.
Ay, caray.
To celebrate the Day of the Dead, somewhat like the local Qingming festival, the Mexicans honor the dead.
The Chinese traditionally would go to the graves of their ancestors and they would clean it and they would offer food, things like that, just to honor the ancestors.
This one is dedicated to the travelers. This is the celebration of the life of people that pass away. So it's not really a sad day because we are very grateful. That's why it's so colorful, because the life was colorful. Life is colorful.
Part of living culture is celebrating the lives of those who've passed. Lydia shows me how to dedicate an altar to my grandmother.
The idea of this is to do the altars talking about her, the good memories of her.
I brought my grandmother's handwritten recipe book and I want to remember my grandmother. I would cook one of the recipes from here. This is a picture of her. And that's
Oh
me.
my God, she looks very
That's me.
happy. Yes, sharing a meal. When she comes, she needs to see something that is familiar, that is the welcoming. They see it as soon as they come.
It's like an invitation to dine.
We have the food that she likes,
Yeah.
the bread of the dead,
Yes.
that normally this is the heart and the bones,
yes.
some items from different religions, from the native of the Mexican,
Yes,
the Aztecs.
wonderful.
Of course, the flowers will show her the way to this altar.
We found many connections in creating this special altar.
We are the mix of everything in our tradition, in ourselves, in our history.
So welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today's topic that we're going to talk about is living culture. Countries with very strong, I guess, living culture are those who are able to export it well. Korea, for example, in a short period of time, they have dominated the world with K-pop and their movies. The Romans exported their culture, the Greeks exported their culture. What is the Spanishness about Spain?
I will never go wrong if I mention flamenco music and bullfighting. The cuisine, of course. Who didn't hear about the paella, the seafood paella, no? Rice.
What's Singaporeanness?
That feeling of you belong, you will be able to be part of, because it's so much diversity here that you don't feel that an outcast anymore, you know? So I think that's the jewel of Singapore, you know?
Sing, you brought amazing living culture into Singapore through Lindy Hop. Through that art, you have understood some of the culture.
Lindy Hop is truly one of the early African-American strong cultures that has existed till now. So when I started it back in the 80s, I didn't know that, I just wanted to do it. Recently, because of the issues in America where it was race, African Americans have embraced their culture more tightly. When the rest of the world started saying, wow, this is great, we want to learn it, want to do it, they realized what a precious gift or treasure that they had. So they started holding very tightly to it and saying that this is ours and be careful what you do with it, don't misappropriate it. Doesn't mean as a Chinese person, I cannot do it. I've done it for so long, I've done it for 35, 40 years now. Am I still a guest, or can I say I am also now part of it, or like I'm the one passing it on to Singaporeans who would never have heard of it? We add on, we put in our Malay dance or Chinese dance because that's what we know. That's who you are. It's like a language. If you talk, you can't help, if I'm Singaporean, throw in a la now and then, or if you're Spanish, you would throw in a phrase. Doesn't mean that you're killing the English language. It means that Singlish is now...
It's an evolution.
It's an evolution, and art has to move forward.
What is Mexicanness to you?
Like you feel that connection immediately. Some words like places in Mexico, like the main, kind of the most important mountain in Mexico is called Popocatépetl. And so if you even see another like Spanish speaker trying to say it, they're not gonna get even if they're from Spain. Popocatépetl.
Popocatépetl.
Almost there, almost there.
You try.
I will not dare to be ridiculous.
No. Go try.
Can you say that?
Popocatépetl.
What's Singaporeanness?
When Singaporeans come to my private dining experience, they immediately have something to connect Mexican food to. So they tell me like, oh, this is a little bit like Peranakan and like a rendang. It's so multicultural and they have so many cultural references in a single small country.
What is to be, as you say, a Mexican or a Singaporean? The look, the food, the traditions. So I see some people like, you see, they are very different in looking wise, but they are very proud to say, I am Singaporean, and stop there. This openness to be and to take in all our cultural background and history is very important.
Singaporeans, once you bridge that gap, they open up and they can become very, very effusive. Do you see modern Singapore as having, quote-unquote, lost out? Had becoming so fast-paced and losing that kind of kampong spirit, that openness, that friendliness.
I was so astonished by how my mom was able to know everyone in the kampong. And the kampong has so many different houses and it's spread throughout so much parts of the island. And yet she's able to recognize every single one of them. Pulau Ubin is still today. That is still today's Singapore. And so I always like to advocate to say that not everything in Singapore needs to be modern. Not everything in Singapore needs to be touching the skies. We still need our past. We still need our heritage. That is our identity.
Cheers!
Popocatépetl.
Wow.
I did it Cajun style, meaning I used Cajun spices. Chickpea and spinach stew. And for you, sir.
Thank you so much.
And this is my favorite. This is gumbo. True mix of European and African techniques in the cooking. Okay, please, dig in. Eat this first. Show of hands, how many are fans of durian here? Okay.
When the labels are removed and the naturalness of being open takes over, we can embrace our vibrant living culture. The best is yet to come as we share more Makan Time stories.
Durian and blue cheese.